Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Oh boy. All right. Take three. We never had a take three before. John Peckman Podcast, Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance, beautiful downtown Portland. Come over the bridge, go through one satellite, start looking left. Want to have your very own podcast right here in our studio. Listen after this. Dave will tell you how. Any of my friends out there that want to come on the show with me, just hit me up. And today, I'm here. An old friend, John Bess Jr. from Middletown. Here he is.
Oh, yeah.
Live and in person.
Third time's a charm.
Yeah, man. All right, before we get started, I thought about this. Just a few ground rules, but we'll let the imagination take care of it. The following topics will not be discussed.
Okay.
The pizza box.
Okay.
The spork.
Nope.
The dumpster.
I won't do that.
The teaspoon.
Nope.
No. But we will discuss the treadmill.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Anyway, me and John go back. We go way back. Maybe we'll talk about you, and then we'll figure out how all that happened. So you grew up here in Middletown, a drummer.
Yeah. So I found out about Quiet Riot at the age of 3. Began listening to music. Frankie Benali was, the man to me. Mm-hmm. And then, that was the only album I knew for probably 8 years or more.
Really?
Like, I listened to that album over and over. Like, I didn't know there was other music.
Yeah.
So I listened to this one cassette on my He-Man cassette player for years.
What songs are on that?
Metal Health, Come On Feel the Noise. Those are the two popular ones.
Yeah, right. So that's the one.
I know them all. But,
wow.
So that, and then, obviously afterwards, that's when, the whole Nirvana thing came into play.
Right.
Saw Dave playing drums, and it was like, I've got to do this. I've got to play drums.
Got to get into that, yeah.
And that's where, it led to Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance.
Oh, wow. Yeah, right.
Lessons here with Matt.
With Matt Starr,
Matt
Starr. That's funny.
And that's
how old were you?
I want to say I was around the age of 16 to 18, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
16,
you're like, I want to get
17,
involved
18.
in this.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. Did you have drums at home by then?
At that point in time, my parents did buy me a drum set. Yeah. So I did have one. It was a rock star, I think, or something like that. Purchased from Main Street Music in Middletown.
Nice. So you didn't know Matt. You just kind of wandered in. You're like, this is the drum teacher.
I didn't know him. I just kept on pushing. I kept on pushing the Nirvana music on him. I'm like, this drummer. I'm like, I have to listen to this drummer. And he's like, well, I like Kiss and I like 80s and this and that. And I'm like, no, you have to watch this guy. And eventually, he finally was like, wait a minute, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
And it took off from there.
That's awesome. So you feel like Matt taught you a lot?
I feel like I definitely learned a lot from him, and I learned probably a lot more watching him play. Mm-hmm. Because obviously at a certain point I'd become the roadie for the Flames.
Right.
So wherever they went, I was there.
Sure. Yeah. So our friend Matt, then he had an original band called the Flames that were kind of a big deal around here, and you got involved with them.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So you were like the dude doing whatever had to be done.
Doing everything that had to be done.
Everything.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Endless energy.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, we were all young at some point.
Once upon a time.
Yeah. So hanging out with Matt, and then so the thing is about Junior is, in addition to being a drummer, in my world, you're one of the biggest music lovers of all time.
Yeah.
Like, you know a lot. Like, put it this way, I'll get into something. Like, I think that I know a lot, and I'll get into something, and then I'll mention it to you, and you're like, oh yeah, I got all that. You got everything.
Yeah, it's like I should probably have a life savings, but I have a music collection.
Yeah.
I take that ultimate deep dive into music. Like, if I were to see, John Peckman, he plays drums, I would have to find every single thing you've ever played on.
Yeah, well, that's not hard.
Yeah.
It's only a handful.
Yeah, I find something new every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. So you're like a completist. Like
yeah.
if you get into it, you gotta know the whole thing.
Yeah, it's like you gotta have it all. You gotta have like the Japanese bonus tracks, the singles. You gotta have the B-sides. You gotta have everything.
Why not?
You gotta know all of it. Then
Yeah.
Get in contact with people, write them. Hey, do you have any demos? Do you have anything extra?
Oh,
anything
really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Anything to get more, to discover more music. Because I find the radio to be kind of bland.
Sure.
And I don't know. I don't think it treats everyone right.
Right.
And you could treat yourself better.
Yeah. Hey.
But, so I'd like to, at some point, I'd like to be able to show people more music and let them know about more things that I think a lot of people would like more than what's, presented.
Maybe the Bess Jr. podcast, we were talking about that.
Possibly,
you never know.
Yeah, family.
Good idea.
I was thinking family tree music.
Hey.
Find a musician, and I want to know all the branches
right.
of their tree. Every
That's
every
cool.
piece. Like, where do you come from? How did it happen?
Yeah.
What happened? Why did this not succeed? Why did
Right.
you not go forward with this? How did you end up here?
Yeah, why not?
Pretty much, So I'd like to do something like that eventually.
It's a cool idea.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool.
Focus on one person and know how, where, why. When.
Yeah.
Really fun.
I could dig that.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Whoa. Hey, what's gonna be? It's gonna be like that? Wow, that's a first. Excuse me.
It is me.
Wow. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right, we'll get to that. Excuse me, everyone. So, when did it go from Quiet Riot to Explosion?
Which type of
with Nirvana?
With Nirvana.
Like, you know what I mean?
So,
Like, how did you become?
So I was traveling in the vehicle somehow with my uncle, and it was like, I want to say like 1990ish, and we were listening to the Wesleyan station, and I heard the song Floyd the Barber.
Oh, right.
So it was before.
Okay.
Before Dave got involved, but
Sure.
it was Nirvana. I was like, this is crunchy and
Yeah.
mashy and weird, and then all of a sudden, then Nevermind came out, and that was just.
So that's like where your whole thing starts, like right there.
Yeah, I mean that's where my
Quiet Riot, one cassette, and then Nevermind,
and then just complete,
interesting,
boom, music everywhere all the time.
So 90s.
Yeah.
You are the 90s. The 90s, remember that dude?
I do remember the 90s.
Awesome dude, the 90s.
Yeah.
I don't remember who it was. Yeah,
I remember who it was.
I know you do. We have all kinds of names. Me and Junior,
nicknames.
We talk in our own language, probably. Yeah.
Our own code.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, we used to call that dude. Hey, man. Yeah, who's that dude? The 90s, because he looked like the 90s still. Yeah, somehow.
He even took lessons here.
Did he really?
the
90s.
Yeah.
Well, don't say something. I don't know who it is.
Yeah,
the 90s.
The 90s doesn't even know he's the 90s.
He doesn't even know. Yeah, he's just being himself.
Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, 90s were my time too, in a way.
Yeah.
When I really think about it. I mean, don't you think though, when you think about it, because of what Nirvana did, the door got open to a lot of things that will never be open again.
No. It's like
I look back on it and I go, I think the 90s were the best time for music, I think, in my lifetime, for that period.
If you look back on it now, it seems like there was one thing, and it was being done one way, and it was getting kind of dry.
Sure.
And it just feels like when Nirvana came along, it was this huge tidal wave, and when it splashed, it had so many different pieces and went off. And, it was like, now this is the thing.
Spiss. That's another story. Maybe we could tell that one. But yeah, no, I think you're correct. You're right. You're right about that.
And and what's funny is like so many things happened at that time that people are still to this day unaware of.
Such as, give us a good one.
Oh, let's see, a good one. Let's.
Mine's like Jellyfish. That's my '90s band that nobody knows about. That made two of the greatest records ever of all.
That keyboard player, he was just on tour with Jerry Control.
That's
just saw him in New York.
That's right. That
was amazing. That guy
Roger Manning Jr.
Roger Manning Jr. Yep. Now there you go, Jellyfish. That's a good one.
That's a bit for me when I think of that. That was a big one that most people don't know about. But anyway,
let's see, back then, what's a good one? Seaweed was a great band.
Yeah, I don't know that.
You know, they were a good one. One that I actually found out about on my own because the Flames were playing at CBGB's was Palmer Stone. I will never forget that show.
Wow.
There was like a little spot up above the stage, like to like, I don't know, if you're looking at the stage, it was to the left, and like you could just sit up there, and I watched this band play, and I was overtaken.
Wow.
I'll never forget that show. It was so amazing, and it was a good time, and I kept in touch with the drummer.
Oh, cool.
And I just recently found the singer again. Like I looked for him for like 20 years.
Wow.
This show was in like 98
Were they
or
on a
99.
label then, or they're just kind of doing their thing?
No, they were from Canada, and they came down. They played with the Flames at CBGB's.
Yeah.
And I was amazed by them, and I found a way, finally to get back in touch with the singer.
Sure.
And, if I ever end up doing this podcast thing, he was going to be the first guest.
Whoa. Hey, there you go.
Yeah, so it's a whole...
Yeah. You're going to find the people. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
awesome.
Many other bands from the 90s.
Yep.
There's a ton of them. Grunt Truck.
Don't know them.
And Dino's Earthworm.
Don't know.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Lots and lots.
Yeah.
I should make some lists.
You should.
Yeah.
You should. You know what you should do is I do my little mixes. It's so easy.
Yeah.
You should make a thing.
That would be fun.
Blast out I think the site I use is called Mixcloud.
Yeah.
You could figure that out. It can't be, if I can figure it out, you can figure it out. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
I know what program I use. You should start blasting out.
I should do that.
No, yeah, you should.
I feel like your descriptions would always be better, but I'd know every single person, and I'd be able to lead you in the right direction for more of them.
Yeah, it's killer. All right, so you're working with the Flames, and then
good times.
Yeah, for sure. That's probably. I think I probably met you around then because I think I knew Crivolone before. Maybe. From around, but I didn't even know Matt. I met, the whole scene, the whole Flame scene in one shot.
Really?
Yeah.
Did we all meet around the same time?
I think so.
And you and them?
I met Matt when they were making the record up at Joetown.
Oh, so you met?
I was hanging around Joetown.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't know him, but I would hear tracks, and I was like, "Who's this?" And Joe's like, "Oh, it's the Flames. You'd love. You got to come back when they're around."
Oh, that's funny.
And then I think I did know Crivolone because I was like, "Oh yeah, I remember you." And that was So I met the Flames then.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. I thought you knew those guys for years.
No.
Wow.
No, I met them. When they were making that record.
Joetown, what a place.
Yeah, Joetown. That was definitely the place. And Joe was here. I had Joe here.
Oh, you had him on the show?
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
Yep. We talked about the whole thing.
Nice.
Yeah, Joetown. So Flames, and then I guess we will get, let's see if we can follow the trail. So
we can go on any trail you want.
Yeah.
There's quite a few.
Yeah. No, there are. So from the Flames, then I started hanging around with Matt, and then Matt got involved with this disco band, which became, all right, so let me see if I could speed this along. So Matt is a drummer, I guess, primarily.
Yeah.
But he does other things too, sings, plays guitar. He was the guitar player and singer and writer in the Flames, so he was not on drums. But anyway, he would play gigs as a drummer, and he got involved in this thing. It was like a franchise. It was a disco cover band show with costumes and choreo, and you played to track, which people don't know at home. It's like half of the stuff is fake. We're playing along to a pre-recorded thing.
Yeah.
So that you could get gigs as a 4-piece, but sound like,
an 8-piece.
Yeah. So there'd be keyboard parts and vocal parts and stuff like that on this recording. And a couple of agents, I think, bought you would buy a territory. Like they were like, we're going to be the East Coast, the Northeast guys. And so I don't know. They bought into the franchise, and then they started booking gigs. And Matt was involved in that as a drummer. He was involved first, and then kind of dragged me into it because I guess at some point they had enough gigs where they needed more. Like, it didn't matter who was in the band.
It could be anyone.
It could be anyone. As long as you could play the gig and wear an afro and do the steps, you could do the gig.
You didn't even have to play an instrument.
We'll get to that. So, all right. So they had enough gigs that Matt was like, well, I can sing. We'll just get a drummer. So I got pulled in to be the drummer so Matt could go up front for those other gigs. So we were like the C team. Like, there was like the A team, the B team. And then where there would be leftover gigs, Matt would be the singer, I would be the drummer, and whoever else on guitar and bass. And one of the gigs that someone came up with was the Lucky Dog in Worcester, Mass. And we did that gig with the company until I think the company fell apart, and we just kept doing the gig directly. We just cut a deal with Eric, with the club owner. So now we were like off the grid. And and then you came with Matt.
Oh yeah.
So where Matt was, you were.
Yep.
So, Junior showing up helping. And then slowly, I mean, did you come on stage right away? Or did that eventually?
Well, yeah. So what happened was I went up and I saw you guys on the stage and you were doing whatever. And there was just like hundreds of thousands of costumes downstairs. So it was like, well, let me just grab one of these. Right. And then I had my own, like, God, it must have been disgusting, filthy suitcase. Loaded with,
I still have my suitcase. It's like just in the basement.
Loaded with weird outfits. Yeah. And we know what those were.
So we started the gig as pretty much legit. Like, we were still doing the show the way it was supposed to be done. But we would go up to Worcester like every Sunday, and there was nobody there. And we're doing the show legit, and we're like, we're going to get fired. Like, every week we would show up and go, this has to be the last gig. And as I recall, and we were still kind of doing the steps and doing the routine. And then I think we kind of were like, this sucks. We're going to get fired. We're never going to come back. And we got really drunk, all of us, I think.
Yeah.
And we just kind of like did the show, but it was like really sloppy, and, we're kind of swearing at the audience, and because we figured we're going to get fired, so we just went rock and roll.
Yeah.
And by some miracle, we didn't get fired, so we showed up the next week and thought we were going to get fired, so we acted even worse, and we kept acting worse until the word got out of the handful of people that were there. Were like, these guys are awesome, because they just don't care at all.
They have no care whatsoever.
No care.
And it turned out to be the more we abused the crowd, the more they loved it.
Right. So,
and it became a free-for-all.
It was a free-for-all.
Especially for me.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, you can do whatever. I was just what is the wildest thing I could do to, like,
we would think of things all week,
abuse the crowd, and they just loved it. They just loved, and they kept coming back, and the place would be packed. Fully packed.
Yeah. So it would be like you'd have a handful of people, and they would be like, "This is awesome," and then there would be a different handful of people the next week, and they go, "This is awesome." And then I think whatever happened, the first 3-day weekend it happened, all those groups all came at once.
Yeah.
And then after that, every week, it was the place to be, because there were so many people. They were like, this is awesome. And we were like, by then, it was beyond the beyond. So, then you started just jumping up on stage.
Oh, yeah.
Not as a player, but just like part of it.
A hype man.
Yeah, the hype man. Yeah,
just... come up as the alien.
Yeah. So there was like, I don't know how many you had, but like you come up and do a routine and then disappear. And then 3 or 4 songs later, another character comes up.
The wolf man.
Yeah, the wolf man, the alien.
Was like some kind
of crypt keeper.
The crypt keeper.
Who else? What else?
Sometimes just a random weirdo with a creepy face.
Yeah.
Old man.
All kinds of characters.
Threw raw meat at the crowd.
Yep, we threw raw meat. I disemboweled you at one point. We had meat hidden, and we pulled the meat out and threw it.
Yeah, I remember I would bring a bottle, just like a pint or like a even larger bottle or whatever, just point at a person in the crowd. You, come here. And just hold the bottle, look up,
wow.
and just...
I don't remember that. Yeah, there's a lot I don't remember.
Giving him the ultimate shot of alcohol.
Yeah. So you can imagine, by the time we were done, it just got so completely nutty.
There were no rules.
No rules beyond anything that I've ever experienced.
The drop ceiling.
I pulled the drop ceiling down on the crowd. Pete Faroo was here. He was there that night. I talked about it. I accidentally jumped. So sometimes I would come out front and sing, and Matt would play drums, and I was running around, and I jumped up on the stage and grabbed the ceiling, thinking I was going to hang from it, and I pulled down the entire drop ceiling on the whole audience.
Amazing.
Yeah. I mean, those stories could go, I mean, I don't even.
It was like one ritual was before every show, I would climb the fire escape with a tube television or two, and I would smash a TV prior to the show.
Sure.
Once even on stage.
Yeah. No, we would always be looking for stuff on the side of the road. Yeah. We're like, hey, let's bring that.
We're going to bring a TV in.
Yeah, one time Matt, this is how this started. I don't remember how it started, but Matt showed up with a toilet.
Oh,
He's the toilet. And we cleaned it out, or it might have been, I
was telling someone that story today. Yeah. We put a bowl in it.
Yeah, so he put a punch bowl in the toilet.
Yeah.
And would ladle drinks out of the toilet.
Maybe drink from the toilet?
Sure. Yeah, sure. It was hygienic, mostly. But yeah, the toilet, oh, man.
It was funny. There was characters, too. It wasn't like, you know, like we were all different characters.
Yep.
Yourself, you were Satan.
Yep, I was Satan. Yep, the Lord of the Underworld himself. Yep.
What was Matt?
Samuel D. Light.
Samuel D. Light.
Yeah, hilarious. I mean, whatever. Many of these stories can't even be told. But just use your imagination. Anything that you can imagine probably happened.
A lot of people probably should have been arrested.
Yeah, I know for sure. We'll just put it this way, and then we'll move on. But there was a certain. This didn't last long, but there was a certain point when one of the dudes, Drugula, one of the dudes who worked there, he worked at a strip joint in town, and he started bringing the strippers after hours to show up, so that some dudes would, we were trying to think, so there would be nudity on stage, and then of all kinds, and it got to the point where, so I don't know if you remember this, but so the strippers came and went, but there was still nudity, like people were still.
That was weekly.
Yeah, getting naked.
Yeah.
And I remember Eric came up to us one time and he goes, "Listen, I think there's undercover cops here, so no nude." Because the bass player, would be completely naked.
He would be wrapped in plastic.
Yeah, wrapped in just a plastic.
Juju bumps.
Yep. And he would be like, "Guys, no nudity tonight because I think there might be an undercover cop here."
Yeah.
Oh, how are we gonna? What a bummer! Like, how are we gonna do the gig?
But then it turned into the crowd. You know.
Yeah,
we followed the rules.
Yeah. So we're trying to discourage people from.
One story we can't forget is the treadmill.
Okay, how do you want to do this?
Oh, I mean,
all right.
Go ahead.
Can I tell it?
All right.
Please all right. Do. So the club, there was a. I mean, I love the neighborhood. I guess it was a little nasty. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
it's rock and roll, right? So the stage, in the back wall of the stage, there's a door that goes out into the back behind of the building. There's the fire escape, and there's a back behind. And one of Junior's things, he would go out the back door, and just root around in the garbage or whatever was laying out there, and sometimes come back in with something. It's like, look what he's got. Like you remember the time, was that you? Or it must have been, I don't know.
I brought in a huge dog.
Yeah. Or one time there was I'm like, you came in, it looked like a garbage bag with a plug. It was like, what's this? We're like, I don't know, plug it in. You plugged it in, and it was like a Dracula, like a Halloween.
Yeah, it just started blowing up.
Yeah, it just started blowing up, and it had all urine all over. Yeah, it was just disgusting. But all of a sudden that's what that is. So Junior runs out, and we're playing the whole time. And Junior goes out the back door. And, I kind of, I'm playing. I'm kind of wondering, like, I wonder what he's going to come back with. And then, he's out there a while. Then all of a sudden, like the door kind of opens and I see all kinds of, and here he comes. He comes through the door and he's holding something big, like struggling. And it comes in and throws it down on the stage and realize it's a treadmill. Like, it's the size of this table. Like, throws a treadmill down on the stage.
Huge.
Like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, okay, a treadmill. And bass player, at the time, there's a bunch of people in the band eventually. Dude, Chad, thinking he's cool, is like, oh, a treadmill. Oh, how wonderful. I'll show everybody how fit I am. I'm going to get on this treadmill and play bass perfectly while I'm running with whatever. And we're like, yeah, okay. And like takes one step on the treadmill.
Start trying to
and
run.
Just face plants. Just
and the bass.
Yeah, the bass. Yeah. Picks himself up. And you were probably the wolf man.
Yeah, I was the wolf man at the time, and
superhuman strength.
I was angry. I had to show that I was mad.
Yeah.
So of course I'm mad that he fell, and
Yeah. So he picks up. So I'm watching this whole thing, and Junior like run, goes over, picks up the treadmill, and the door's still open, and he's going like this to throw it out the door, and I'm thinking, if he misses and it hits the wall, we're going to have like a structural problem. Like it's going to take the wall down. And I'm like, oh no. And before I could say, I'm not sure you want, he just goes like this. And it goes right out the back door, like silent, no, swish. No sound, gone, just gone. And I was like, wow, that's cool. And then, we finished the gig hours later, driving home, just kind of trying to, wow, that was a crazy night. And I probably gave you a ride. I'm like, I forgot. And I'm like, didn't you bring a treadmill on stage? And then we're like, oh yeah, that's right, that happened. It's like,
yeah, I don't think anyone ever saw it again.
Yeah, and then never saw it again, never.
Hilarious.
Yeah, the treadmill. I don't know. I mean, we could just tell those stories, but we got to get on to the other thing.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Okay. All right. Now, let me see. All right, this is rare. A rare talent.
Oh yeah.
You're not going to see this.
Yeah.
No one's ever going to see this. So, Junior has a very extremely rare talent and ability that I guess is part gift and part developed.
Yeah.
But Junior is able to fart at will, with no smell, no consequence, no negative consequences, which is incredible.
Yeah.
How did you learn to do such a thing?
I was on vacation, South Carolina. I was in Myrtle Beach. Mm-hmm. My parents, they would go out for the night.
Sure.
I was too young to know what the heck they're doing.
Sure, you're listening to Quiet Riot
again.
Yeah,
headphones on, listening to music, this and that, here and there. And I'm like, all right, let me lay down and listen to my music.
Yeah, sure.
What was that? So it was my parents and my grandmother. We all went on vacation. I'm trying to go to sleep or lay down and listen to music. I'm like, what is that? I'm like, so I take my headphones off and I'm like, Grandma? I'm like, what is that? No, shut up. I'm farting. You're farting.
Oh, okay.
You are, huh? I'm like, huh? Well, how do you do that? And she revealed the secret. And I was like,
which you won't reveal to the...
Well, yeah, you gotta...
Yeah, no, you gotta
keep
have
the secret.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So, right then and there, I learned it, and all this, my parents came back, and, I just wouldn't stop.
Oh, wow. So you learned it that quick?
So I learned it that quick, and then I brought it back, and I, all through school.
Sure.
I mean, school.
That's got to be so valuable.
Oh, I mean, may I please go to the bathroom?
Don't we wish we all could? Yeah, do you really have to go? Well, check this out.
Yeah. So, one thing leads to another, and then, I learned how to do that, and,
right.
Things start to take off and
go
a little crazy.
So Junior's, so once we figure that out, we're like, are you, because you can do that for real? I remember we were right home. I was like, can you just fart the whole time so I can get this out of my system? Like, this is amazing. This is incredible. And so that became the thing. Now, did you have your act together before?
Well, what I did was instead of like paying attention in school,
Sure.
I would be doing that.
Sure.
And, so what I started doing was I started doing as many as I could, as long as I could.
Sure.
Huge ones,
Developing your
songs,
technique. Sure.
Songs,
Why not?
Name that tune, all these different things. So
speed round, whatever.
Speed, I had them and I was able to do all of these things.
Developing your voice, your artistic voice.
Yeah, pretty much. And then, one day I think it may have been you that mentioned it, like the whole way that we were going to do this.
So we're like, someone's like, dude, you should go on Howard Stern and do this.
Yeah. And
I don't think it was me at first.
Maybe not. I don't know. But, I caught wind that there was someone.
No pun intended.
I caught wind that there was someone on there that had this world record.
No.
225 in 5 minutes.
And you're like, dude.
And I was like,
whatever.
What?
Yeah, it's child's play.
I was like, no. I was like, I can absolutely take this to a level beyond.
Yeah.
Far beyond that. And Howard will love it.
Yeah.
So, one day.
Well, you made a demo first.
Yeah, it turned out. Yeah, we were at Alex's house over in Vernon, and we went down.
Who now plays with Quiet Riot?
Who now
plays
see how this
with
Quiet Riot?
Do you see how this all works?
Everything loops around.
Yeah.
27th this month or next month.
Alex Grossi.
Yeah, they'll be in Connecticut.
Yeah,
Alex
who also
Grossi.
was in Disco Hell at a certain point.
Oh,
we can't even mention his name. We can't say the name that he was in the band. We can't even say it. We can't say it.
Yeah. So anyways, we go down to the basement, and I make this video, and I obviously, I've calmed down a little bit since then.
Sure.
As obnoxious as possible.
Sure, you got to be.
It's for Howard, so it's like I have to make a point that, like, I'm serious.
Oh.
I want in on your show.
Hey, man.
And I want to do this. So we overnighted him this VHS.
Mm-hmm.
We get a call the next day.
Sure.
Can you be here at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning?
Sure, this is gold. Yep.
Absolutely.
And I brought you.
I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Who can bring me? Calling around and get in touch with you. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it, yeah.
So
that day history was made.
So I end up going on the show and,
broke the record.
What was I at the time, 21 or something? Yeah, 21. Yeah. I go on, I break the record, this, that, here, there. But when I went on, I actually had a Foo Fighters road case that I purchased from Ernie Bailey. So I had one of the, to me, it was like, this is the greatest. It's one of theirs.
Going to New York, I'm bringing it.
It held tubes, for their amps. And inside of it, I made sure that I put, like, all kinds of Dave Grohl stuff. I was like, pictures of him, CDs, this and that. And while I was doing all of the things that Howard was requesting and he was loving, while, comparing me to Muhammad Ali or whatever it was, I was showing him pictures of
Yeah.
What are you doing with all these pictures? This and that.
This is my inspiration.
Here. Yeah, this is my inspiration, So, we're going on and on. He sees all this stuff. And I'd known that they were coming out with an album soon. And
Hold on. Let me fix that. Okay. So Junior goes on, breaks the fart record, is a hero, and comes back to Worcester. Everybody's like, this actually happened.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And then you had been on again before the Dave Grohl thing or not?
No. So what happened was I was working at Record Express in Middletown.
Okay.
Obviously selling records, CDs,
of course,
stuff on display.
Of course.
I get a call there from the Howard Stern show.
Yep.
It's like, hey, do you want to come on the show again with the Foo Fighters?
Oh boy.
And I'm like, what?
Hold it. Okay, back up. This is how I remember it. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. This is how I tell the story. So yeah, you were on the Stern show. They knew who you were. You planted your flag.
Yeah.
And we were at the Lucky Dog, and we were breaking down at the end of the night, and we were talking about Foo Fighters, and you were like, oh man, I got to meet Dave Grohl. I have to. And I had a moment. Sometimes we have these moments in life. I could see the future. I could see the path.
Yeah.
And I just said, listen to me. Here's what you do. Call up Howard Stern. I said, they have a record coming out, don't they? And you're like, yeah, it's coming out and whatever, or that just came out and they're starting to tour. When are they playing New York? Find out. Call Stern. Tell him you want to be on the Howard Stern Show with Dave Grohl playing Name That Fart Tune.
Yep.
That's how it's going to happen. And you were like, I don't know. I said, make the call.
Yeah.
Okay. I said, I'm serious. Make the call. And then a few days later or whatever, you said, give me a ride to New York. I'm going on the Stern Show to fart for Dave Grohl.
Yeah.
Told you. I told you. Anyway, so you're at Record Express. That's my version.
Yeah. So it was funny. I never even.
This is a great idea. I was like, listen, this was a show. There's no way they're going to say no. It's hilarious. Dave's funny. He'll get it. We'll do it. Do it. So anyway.
Yeah. So what happens when you call the Stern Show and you want to talk to him is, Howard is busy. He's doing his thing. It's this or that. He gets word, from whoever. Oh, they're gone. So sometimes you'd have to wait on the phone forever. So I'd probably tried calling a couple of times.
Oh, boy.
Was waiting for, you can wait for an hour, 2 hours.
Sure.
So anyways, eventually.
Who cares? You're just at Record Express anyway.
Yeah.
Just put it on hold.
Yeah, so I'm there. So they ended up calling me and they're like, hey, do you want to come on the show with the Foo Fighters? And I'm like, oh my God, yeah.
Of course I do.
So right off the boom, call Peckman.
Yep.
Dude, I need a ride to New York. Okay, cool. So, obviously we end up going to New York and they were playing a show and I don't know, either you or myself, somebody bought tickets.
Yeah, we already bought tickets, yeah.
So we were going to go and then we get there and it was
Halloween night.
Halloween night.
What year?
It's 2001 or 2.
Okay. Right.
If I was 21.
Could be.
2001, 22,
What album? It was...
One by One.
That's right. Yep.
So it was amazing because what happened, we go on the show. It's Dave and Taylor.
Yep.
They looked crazy as could be from the night before.
Well, so this is what I remember. So we're trying to be cool.
Yeah.
Sitting in the green room, waiting, and we know we're like, well, there's only one elevator, so at some point, they're gonna walk through here.
Yeah.
And ding. No. But trying to be cool because you don't want to be. But like, sure enough, ding. Oh, there they are.
Yep.
Just kind of went over. Hey, man. Anyway, so it was cool.
Yeah. You go on and then, just like you said, name that fart tune with the Foo Fighters.
Yep. And it went well. They were good sports. They were funny.
Yeah, they were funny. They were cool.
It was killer. That's got to exist somewhere. I have it somewhere.
Actually, I think I just handed a VHS to that of a friend of mine at work, and he's gonna.
Okay, good.
Do
I have it somewhere.
Yeah,
I have it somewhere.
And
I have the first time on Stern on my player at all times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I listen.
Yeah, I was looking for the VHS of that.
I have it somewhere.
The bass player of what's that band? Can't think.
Yeah.
But one of me, he just sent a copy of that to Alex.
Oh hey.
Yeah.
There you go. So that happened.
Yeah.
So it got you there.
Yeah.
It got you where you wanted to be.
Yeah, that was the night.
Got to use your skills in this world.
They gave us, we got to meet him. I got to take the pictures. You got to hang out. They gave us extra tickets to the show.
Yep.
We went and we I don't know. We scooped up Drew and Pete.
And Pete, yeah, because we already bought tickets and they gave us tickets, so we're like, oh, good, here.
Yeah.
We were already staying in New York with friends, so they came.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. Made a good time.
Stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So dreams can come true, kids.
Yeah. It all depends on how you use those skills.
That's what I'm saying. Can you imagine? Just saying, like, that is rare. That's a rare path.
Yeah, it happened.
It happened. It's stranger than fiction.
Yeah.
That actually happened. That's cool. And then you're somewhat in touch with the Foo Fighters organization to some degree, in some kind of way.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would go in like when Taylor would go on tour with the Coattail Riders, I would like follow the shows all around.
Sure.
Like I would go from state to state, hop around this
Sure.
and that. And one of his best friends was Drew Hester.
Yep.
And at one point in time he was involved with the Foo Fighters.
That's right.
And was one of them, for the whole acoustic tour. Do triangle solos.
Yeah.
So anyways, Drew is super down to earth, really, really nice guy, totally cool. Hey man, get your number, we'll hang out, so anytime they be playing with them, hey Junior, I call him, you want to come up? throw me his backstage pass or whatever. I'd fly in, do my thing. Shots of Jägermeister with Dave Grohl.
Nice.
What's better?
No, I guess not.
Hanging out.
Yeah.
So, anytime I need some quick info or whatever it may
right.
be.
Get on the hotline. Get on the Drew line.
Give me a call. I think I've called him a couple of times with you on the phone.
Yeah. I don't know if we tell this story.
I mean, we can tell any of them.
All right. I'll try to make it quick. I don't want to violate anybody's confidentiality. Yeah, so me and Junior, I'm a big Foo Fighters fan myself. And we're so for people who don't know, I don't know if anyone cares or they don't know, but obviously Dave Grohl is a drummer, one of the best drummers ever in history. And by the time they got to the third Foo Fighters record, Taylor joined. So he was the drummer, but he didn't play on everything. So their third record, Dave is playing on half of the record, Taylor's playing on the other half. But they kept it a secret on who played on what tracks.
Yeah,
That's
which was
thing.
like...
That was the thing.
To us, it's like...
Just trying to hook Taylor up, we'll keep it a secret so nobody knows. And then, I don't know, one night, me and Junior were talking on the phone, just like we kind of do. And because we have theories.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, that's Dave on Breakout. No, that's Taylor. I wonder if we'll ever know, and trying to Google it. And,
Stacked Actors is Dave.
Yeah. And I don't know. Do you think Aurora? I'm not sure. And it was one night we're having this conversation. I'm going to Junior, man, I wonder if we'll ever know. Hello? I'm like, hello? And all of a sudden I hear click. I hear a phone ring and you go, I'm calling Drew right now. Just be cool. And it's, oh, hey, man, what's up? Hey, my friend John's on the phone. Hey, what's up? So let's go to track by track. Like, he just went right to the source. But I'm like, hello? I'm like, oh, yeah, you're already calling him.
Yeah.
That's funny. That was funny. We got the scoop, but we're not going to tell.
Oh, yeah.
No.
It's a secret.
It's a secret. Yeah, we can't give away the secret.
Yeah, the only one everyone really knows is
Right.
Stacked Actors. But
Yeah. Yeah.
some of those are pretty amazing, those secrets.
Yep. No doubt.
They should definitely come out one day now, hopefully.
Yeah, I know. No.
They need to do the whole,
Well, maybe they will
the
now.
extended box set of There's Nothing Left to Lose.
I hope so. I hope
there's
so.
a lot of good stuff in there.
Yeah. So we still don't know what happened with Taylor.
No. And I mean, I feel like his musicianship and everything that he was doing was going up.
Yep.
I mean, he had quite a few different things going on, and it was getting better. I feel like he progressed very well as a singer.
Yeah.
And he was way better at the end than when he first started.
Yeah. Well,
and then all of a sudden,
that's what talent will do.
Abrupt ending.
Yeah, it's definitely the end of an era.
Yeah.
For sure. No doubt about that.
And, we still don't know what's going to happen.
Nobody knows.
Well, I think only one person does, for sure.
Well, yeah, but I hope it's not all over.
Yeah, I hope not.
I hope not.
But it's
crazy.
It's weird, It's
yep.
Like, where do we go from here?
I don't know. Well, I guess only time will tell, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, let's think. So let's talk about your drumming. You were telling Dave about what's this project you're doing. Talk about that.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So there's this band called...
So you've been in bands around. You've been playing around.
Yeah, I played in some bands in Connecticut. I played in... the first one was Autopilot.
Okay.
My friends Carlo and Bill, and we did that for a little while, and then, I don't know. I think people got sad or mad, and everything just kind of ended. And I'm like, why did my band just dissolve?
Yeah.
What happened? I was so excited.
That happens.
And then I was in another band with, some other people.
Right. Oh, okay.
And
nameless.
The
90s.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So I was in that band, and again, I was very ready to go.
Sure.
Getting us guarantees and this and that when no one else cared, and then, relationships happen and fall apart, and then all of a sudden I come in ready to shoot a video shoot, and they're like, "Oh no," and they're like, "No, we're gonna have someone else," and I was like, "All right," so that kind of got me kind of upset. And,
sure. You should have pulled the werewolf out. You should have just left and then come back.
Should have thrown raw meat at him. So anyways, that kind of made me a little bit uninspired. And then I was thinking about getting in bands with people, and it always turned into, oh, we're going to, do all kinds of drugs and have all kinds of women. And like that.
And you're pretty much straight edge, more or less.
I mean,
or at least you were for a while.
I was for a very long time. And I mean, really, I don't really do anything.
Right.
I don't
you're
smoke. I have the occasional beer.
You're the most sober person at Disco Hell, put it that way.
Oh, yeah. During all of that, there was nothing.
Imagine that.
Nothing at all.
Imagine that.
Zero.
That's crazy.
That's funny. Zero beers, drinks,
That's funny.
smokes, nothing.
That's
Zero.
funny.
Also the wildest, maybe.
Yeah.
But, so I got a little sick and uninspired. And then, I got in touch with, I saw some artwork, and I recognized it as artwork from Meat Puppets albums. And I'm like, what is this? I was like, who is this band? In my searches. Oh. And I found this band, Nerd Table, from Ohio. And I'm like, let me try getting in touch with them.
Yeah.
So I get in touch with them, and I soon start to figure out, it's like, Chad Channing's on their album. Tad is on their album. Like, Ron Jeremy's on their album. I'm like, wait a minute. What?
Yeah.
Who are? So I get in touch with the main guy, who's Adam Casto. And, I start talking to him, and I'm like, hey, can I help you out by getting some more of these kind of people on your albums? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, hey, wait a minute. I'm like, can I be on your albums?
Yeah, right.
And he's like, and after getting a few pieces, like, absolutely.
Oh, cool.
So he's like, you are definitely. He calls me an extended family member or an extended member of this band. He's like, we've never met each other in person. He's like, we talked on the phone a bunch. He's like, but you're definitely one of us. You know,
that's killer.
And it's like, I don't know. I have a way of just writing these funny little passages or emails and sending them off to people and being like, let's juice this up and make it sound great. And all of a sudden it's like, we get more people from Tad to be in there. We get Joe Daniels from Local H, just more and more people. So
you're like thinking of people that would work with this thing, and you're putting it together.
Yeah, so it's kind of like I'm like that guy that's pulling them in. Yeah. And Adam does it too, but a lot of the times he's like, can you do this? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. That's got killer. People like Patty Rothberg, and he's got people like the Melvins, Dale Crover and Buzz Osborne, and it's like somehow or other, it's like, oh, there's a recording out there, and it's got myself and these guys.
Wow.
It's like, well, maybe we didn't share the same studio, but
still,
the recording's out there.
That's
it's
killer.
Like all of us together, and it's.
And what's it called again? Tell us.
The band is called Nerd Table.
Nerd Table.
Yeah. And I always end up on their Noise of Earth pieces, so far there's like six I think.
Wow.
The sixth one is coming out.
Hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
So it's like an ongoing project.
Yeah. Yeah, the next one is going to be Nerd Table 2099.
Whoa.
And that'll be hopefully coming out soon. I think they're maybe waiting on a couple tracks. Maybe,
yeah.
Dave Abraziz from
Pearl
nice.
Jam. Hey.
Yeah, I know he's played some guitar on things.
Hey, that's cool.
Yeah, either guitar or drum part.
So you just have a list. You're like, I'm going to get everybody eventually.
Yeah, and I just, I keep it right in my phone, and I'm like, I need to contact this one.
That's cool, man.
Adjust the email a little bit or the message, and by the time they get it, they're either like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
You want me? Like,
well, once they see everybody else that's been on there,
that's the whole thing too. Yeah. It's like, would you like to be involved with a project with the Melvins, Tad, Nirvana?
Sure.
How can you say no?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
It just ropes them all in.
Killer. That's killer. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, good. That's cool.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
really
you're better off doing that than getting involved with the local morons or whatever that never get anything done or whatever.
Yeah, I don't like that type of thing. Although I do miss playing on stage. I miss playing for people. So I'd like to again at some point. It'd be really fun.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah. Well, you never know. I guess just keep doing what you're doing. Something will
the whole thing is I think Dave actually told me this one time when I was a teenager. He said, with music, there are no rules.
There are no rules.
So
it's your fault.
You can do anything.
Wow.
It's like you can play any note you want. You can do anything.
Wow.
I was like, oh.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's why we do this.
Yeah.
It's a place of no rule. That's funny.
No rules.
All right, we're getting close, so I want to make sure. Is there anything that we did not talk about that you want to talk about at this time?
I don't know. Let's see. Well,
if not, I'm gonna ask the questions.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
You know the question. Do you know the question? It's impossible to answer.
Oh, which one?
Desert Island album, meaning a couple of albums that you would take with you if you were stranded on a desert island, and it would be the only ones you could listen to for the rest of your life.
Only ones I could listen to for the rest
a handful. I used to say one, but no one could ever pick one.
All right, I would say DCEP by John Frusciante.
Okay.
Just because it's fun and exciting, I would take the 3 NHC singles, the little discography things that came out. That's Navarro, Hawkins, Chaney.
Oh. Okay.
It ended up being like a really fun thing.
Nice.
Just, like
I didn't even know
progression.
About that. Yeah.
Check out some of the live stuff.
Okay.
Be kind of amazed.
Cool.
What else? I'd have to bring some kind of Quiet Riot.
Sure.
Obviously.
The original cassette.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I still have it.
Do you really?
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
That's funny.
I'd have to have some kind of Nirvana box set.
Sure.
Some Foo Fighters.
Sure.
I need those things.
What Foo Fighters album? I know we always have this conversation.
Which one would I take? If I had to pick one, I guess it would have to be The Color and the Shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of agree, but Nothing Left to Lose is always. I can't. It depends on what day it is.
Really, Aurora itself.
Yeah, that alone. Yeah, I'll just take that one song.
Just take that song.
Yeah. True. All right. Well, that's cool. So those are the albums you would take.
Yeah.
Desert Island food. What could you eat every day and be perfectly happy with?
I mean, I could eat a pizza or a burrito every day.
Sure.
Just
keep them coming.
Pound them down, keep going.
Whatever. Yeah.
Eat entire pizzas.
Wow.
We're supposed to have a pizza day at work coming up.
Really?
They don't know me.
Oh, yeah. Right. They're just like, you got to order more.
Yeah.
More than. What's the pizza spot? What's your spot, man?
Oh, geez.
You grew up here in Middletown.
Well, yeah. Well, in Portland a bunch. The places have come and gone. So there really hasn't been a consistent one.
Yeah.
I remember there was a place in Rhode Island when I was there called Friendly Guys.
Oh, boy.
I would do that just about every day.
Really?
Yeah.
Rhode Island.
Yeah, Friendly Guys.
Yeah. I can't find my spot in Berlin. We've been there. I just can't find it. I still go, Wallingford, Napoli and Wallingford. That's my local spot.
Yeah.
And there's nobody's hitting it like that up in Berlin yet.
No.
Can't find the local spot.
Yeah, well, you can always,
if
you're in New Haven, that's a
that's
thing.
New Haven's a whole other gig. No offense.
Yeah.
But yeah, accepting that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But far out.
Toad's Place at the York Street.
Yeah, York Street. Yeah, I don't mind that.
Sally's.
It's a different thing. Well, yeah, then you're talking Sally's.
Yeah.
So Sally's, Pepe's, you're Sally's.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I also like Bar a lot.
Oh, yeah. Bar's a contender for sure.
I thought it was the strangest thing. Mashed potato pizza. How could I eat that?
It's good, though.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's real good. Yeah, they're
unreal.
They're on to something over there.
Yeah.
All right. Tell me before we go, if you can think off the top of your head, because you've seen many more things than most people, best show you've ever seen.
All right. I guess I would go with Queens of the Stone Age in 2002.
Okay.
Small Place, The Paradise in Boston.
Sure.
Dave Grohl on drums.
Sure.
About as close as you are to me right now. Nick, Josh, Troy.
Sure.
Mark Lanigan. All in one package.
Yeah.
And to see
that was it.
To see him play drums this close to me, and for that specific album, that was unreal.
Yeah.
Actually, Matt's wife brought me. I still didn't have a car at that time, so it was Becca brought me.
Nice.
And it was just.
She was into it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's totally into it, and it was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like the triplets right there.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. No, I could
Unreal.
definitely get into that. I could imagine because you only know when you got to get close enough to kind of really understand what's going on.
I've never
been that close.
Talk about next level.
Yeah, I know. no doubt about that.
What's the closest we got? Did you see them Crooked Vultures? Or no?
I did not.
No,
I think that was Crivolone.
Oh yeah, Crivolone saw them. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know the quote. I never got too close. Never got that close, so I don't know.
Well, if it ever happens again, I'll make sure to bring you.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll hook it up. All right, cool. All right, you know what? I think we could get out of here.
Cool.
No last things. Let's see. We covered it all. You know, you're a super music fan. Know everything about everything. Disco Hell. This project you got going on.
Yeah.
The Flames. Yeah.
And obviously concerts.
Yeah.
A huge thing. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
If I don't have a ticket, I make it in either way.
Oh yeah, no, that's the thing. Yeah.
My rule is I bought your album on vinyl and CD.
Right.
Everyone else stole it.
Yep.
I'm going to your show.
Yeah, I need
whether I paid for it or not. If I have money, I'll pay. If I don't, well, I need to get in.
Sure. Yeah, no.
I have to watch you play.
It works out.
Yeah, and usually, I have a conversation or something with the musicians.
Yep, definitely.
Oh.
Definitely.
We tried. There's one story. I tried that once. Mike Crivolone.
Sure.
I've got to meet Chad Smith. Smith.
Yeah, sure.
All right, you want to meet him? We go. We watched the Chili Peppers play in Massachusetts.
Okay.
Show's over. It's like, I'll be right back. I march, all the way through the tractor trailers, this, that, here and there. I find Chad Smith. Hey, Chad, my friend has to meet you.
Sure.
He has to.
Yeah, he has to.
Bring, he's got the jumpsuit on.
Oh, really? He's just like, all right.
Tall as could be. Bring Chad Smith out. Here you go, Mike. Here's Chad Smith.
Wow. Yeah, right.
Hi.
Yeah. That's so funny.
He ended up.
So you're good like that.
He couldn't figure it out. He
didn't
know what to say.
That's killer.
It was a good one, though.
Yeah. I know.
Stuff.
Chad Smith could say no, but he doesn't say no to you. I don't know.
Oh, no. No, he wasn't saying no that day. Maybe another.
That's awesome. All right. Hey, thanks for being here.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, that was
Thanks
fun.
for having me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, man. Get it done.
Yeah.
It's now immortalized in history. You know what I mean? So stay tuned. We'll talk again. We'll come back.
Absolutely.
If and when Foo Fighters or whatever happens.
Yeah,
we'll
whatever project.
Yeah, exactly. All right. John Bess Jr. from Middletown. Born and raised. So far. Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance. Beautiful downtown Portland, Connecticut. I'm John Peckman. This was the John Peckman Podcast. Listen, next, Dave will tell you how to have your very own podcast. Listen, maybe Junior is going to have a podcast. We're going to talk to you about that, Dave. Junior wants to have one. All right. Thanks for listening, kids. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time. That is all.
If you'd like to start your own podcast, give us a call at Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance. Our professionally designed podcast space is here for all your recording needs. Rent out our studio to do interviews with up to 4 people, to record audiobooks, social media content, and all other recorded material. Our rentals include a private studio along with our professional-grade podcasting equipment, and we can customize your output to whatever your needs are. We also have green screen capabilities, which will expand to video capability if you so wish. So check us out here at convalley.net/podcast.